Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things. It is October, therefore it is spooky season. So let's get into today's book, which is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Let's get into it. So this book is kind of a gothic-esque thriller. I wouldn't say it's a horror novel. It's definitely spooky, but it lacks a little bit of the atmospheric quality that I expect from a true horror novel in the gothic vein. But it is very good. It's a single point of view, but we travel forwards and backwards in time. Well, we only go forwards in time, but sometimes we skip back, that we have now and then we have previously. And it follows Jules Larson, who is a young woman with a tragic backstory, TM. And it opens with her being wheeled in on a hospital gurney after being hit by a car, and she trying to ascertain on the coma scale where she is and all the rest of this, and then we go back 6 days to where she was essentially apartment sitting for hire in this beautiful gothic apartment building right on Central Park West with these gargoyles that it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's a book that took place there that she's modeled her life ambitions on, and they're paying her $12,000 to sit in an apartment for 3 months. What could possibly go wrong? It's a modern gothic horror story, and I do mean modern, in that it sets it up so that you think there's going to be ghosts, there's going to be spookies, there's going to be bumps in the night, all the rest of this. And without getting too much into spoilers, there really isn't. It's one of those where the scariest monster is man kind of a feel, which, don't get me wrong, the book is good. It's a good book. But the more I think about it, the more disappointed I am. Immediately when I stopped reading this book, I gave it 5 stars, but the longer it's been since I finished reading it to now, when I'm talking about it, that it's dropped a couple stars. I'd say it's a 3-star now, because I'm noticing places, not necessarily plot holes, but places where the book just didn't do it right. That there's things that don't add up properly, that it's plausible, yes, but it's also kind of dumb. If I'm being honest, it's a little dumb. Yeah, there's a lot of praise for this book on the back and on the inside, and it's described as, if you like your thrillers with a dash of horror, you'll love Riley Sager's latest novel, Lock Every Door, suspenseful with twists you won't see coming, from BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed is not who I go to for horror recommendations, and I should have seen that coming. R.L. Stine. The Bartholomew is an apartment building of terrifying secrets. You'll find startling twists and alarming surprises down every dark hallway. It's too late to lock the doors. The horror is already inside. My favorite thriller of the year. Which, okay, R.L. Stine, good writer, but not... he's a children's horror writer. I think he's written for adults, too, but they have him billed as R.L. Stine, author of Goosebumps, which Goosebumps is scary, yes, but it's not what I'm looking for. And something that has been bugging me, and I know the author doesn't necessarily have control over this, is on the cover, there's this spectral form going in and out of the doors. It's not a supernatural thriller. Like, it sets it up to make you think it might be, and then it just doesn't do that. The ending was good. The ending was really good. A lot of horror novels don't know how to end themselves, and this one ended pretty well. It was a very satisfying ending, but it was also kind of a dumb ending. That it was very much a, well, I'm up against a word count, and this happened, and we're done. Yay! Kind of an ending. that it felt like it wrapped up too quickly. In the book, it wrapped up over a course of a while, but in terms of page count, it wrapped up very quickly, and much more quickly than it could have. And it feels like there should be more consequences as a result if we're not going to just end it with our main character safe at the end. If we're going to actually follow it through and have an ending with consequence, then I feel like there should have been more consequences for the main character, and there just weren't. That they're like, oh, not a jury in the world would convict you, not a judge would charge you. And it's like, okay, cool, nice hand waving, but I would like something a little bit more definitive, you know? I don't know. Originally this book was a 5-star. I am revising this. This doesn't happen very often. Down to a 3-star, because the more I think about it, the more disappointed I am by this book. When I first finished it, I was wanting to look up Riley Sager and find more books by the author and read more books by the author, and now I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about the author, because it could have been so much better than it was. Like, it's one of those, it's almost like it almost reminds me of the Da Vinci Code, in that you read it and you're like, oh, this is great, and then you start thinking about it and you're like, wait, but wait, and then there was the, and then, but also the, and the more you think about the book, the less there is to like about the book, kind of a feel, which is the main problem I have with thrillers. I've been very lucky in the thrillers that I've read lately, that they've been good, but this one disappoints. And also, I had a feeling that the bad guy was the bad guy from the minute he was introduced. I just had a gut feeling. I'm like, oh, that's the bad guy. And then they're like, oh no, it could be ghosts. And I'm like, it's probably not ghosts, it's probably him. And they're like, oh, but how is this happening? I'm like, there might be a secret door. There's probably this. And it's never like, nothing ever truly comes to fruition in this book. That it's just dumb. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just dumb. It's 3 stars. This one will be going in the bin to sell back to my local used bookstore. I bought it, I think this was the one I got half off from the bookstore. But yeah, have you read Lock Every Door? What did you think? Have you read any books, and it's particularly thrillers, that have just disappointed you and made you just rethink your life's choices in the fact that you gave them your time? Because that is the most precious thing we have, is time. And I don't mean to get all maudlin here, but time is the one thing that you can never get back. And I kind of want the hours I spent reading this book back. My cats are calling me, I've gotta go, but thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Stay spooky. Happy October. Bye.